Hey, this is Sorry I Didn't Come With a Filter podcast with your host, Vasilis, the most. So, the most hated person on earth or the most likable person on earth, depending on how you like me or hate me. So, it is Friday, it is Flash Friday. So, I'm going to call it Flash Friday, not Flashback Friday now. What a massive upset game last night. Dolphins over the Ravens. Now, I can't even believe that. Like, seriously, I can't even believe it. What happened last night was just a shock to me in every aspect of, just the Ravens should have beaten them. And Tua was playing after the second half with Jacoby Brissett having to leave with a knee injury. So that just kind of threw a monkey wrench into a lot of things. I like the head coach, John Harbaugh. He took the full responsibility that, it was all on him, really. He said in the team, it wasn't, the players' fault. They played a good game. It was just that they weren't executing the plays right. And go for it. The Dolphins are now 3-7. I think this is probably one of their best records so far in the last few years. I don't really discredit them, but when they are not, in the bubble of playoff contention, and it doesn't look like they are, this week of upset is just going into the next half of the season, it looks like. So, Sunday games are going to be just critical for all teams that are trying to make the playoffs or trying to keep that first place, position. It looks like it might be a little more challenging. With that being said, it is my day to do my fantasy football pick day. So let's go over there and see what's in the football. Last night I did do my NHL draft, my picks and stuff, and I did win money. I won $2, $2.10, which to me is still, money in my pocket, and I'm still doing better than usual. Thank you, Draisaitl, for that. Honestly, when you're doing the NHL picks, you got to really pick mostly the Edmonton guys because they can bank you points. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, I'm up to them. I'm going to, again, go with Josh Allen as my QB. I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. He's doing absolutely good. What did I do? I messed it up, didn't I? I did. No, I didn't. There we go. Okay. My other running back, Nick Chubb, is out, so that puts a damper on things. But you got Melvin Gordon, who's going to go against Philly. So I'm gonna have to say, Derrick Henry is out. I'm gonna go with Singletary because he did pretty well last game. Oh no. They didn't, I just read something, it just did not work. I'll go with Fournette. This is where, the wide receivers. Pittman Jr. I'm going to go with. He's done pretty good with the Colts as well. Emmanuel Sanders. Claypool is questionable, so I'd sit him. Beasley, let's see what's up with Cole Beasley. I can't say Beasley is going to be playing. I don't know. It looks kind of like a hard one to pick. But, you know, I'm gonna go with Randall Cobb on it, on my wide receiver. It's you know, it's really hard to pick. You know, might have to go look through some teams, you know, just to kind of get my feel out there. You know, Christian Kirk looks like the only one I can actually play with. But I could actually, you know, do something different. Chargers are playing. So, you know, it's... Chargers, nah. It's really tough to say who's done pretty good and who hasn't. It's a tricky situation for me because, as I say, I'm getting there, but I'm probably gonna end up, you know, losing my shirt for this. Yeah, I'm gonna go AJ Brown. AJ Brown. Because AJ Brown is Hollywood Brown. And nobody else is like him. I'm going to say Chargers for that. So, you know, I still got my tight end stuff going on here. Gronk is still out. And that sucks to me because I like Gronk. But I'm going to have to just kind of, you know, tuck my tail between my legs. I'm going to go Beasley. So my flex player, I could still get a good flex player on my thing. So, you know, I'm going to have to hang my hat on somebody who has been doing pretty damn good. And, you know, picking these guys, doing my picks, it's really like a complex thing because I gotta really look at it. I'm gonna go with Melvin Gordon. So, as it stands, my first set is Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Fournette, Pittman Jr., Cobb, A.J. Brown, Beasley, Melvin Gordon, and I picked defense on Chargers. So that's my picks for that one. I'm going to try another end here. I'm going to go with Brady because Brady, you know, you never get let down by Brady. Let's see what Austin Eckler has. I'll take Eckler. Yeah, I'll take him. Najee Harris is out. Elliott is out. So I'm going to go with Jones. CeeDee Lamb. I would pick CeeDee Lamb. He is such a good player. But I'm going to go with Evans just because, you know, you got... I'm going to go with Lockett. My others... I would have taken Gallup. I think Peoples Jones isn't going to be playing. I don't have a good feeling he's going to be playing. So there we go. I'm going to say the Buccaneers. My tight end is going to be somebody that hasn't been too bad, just looking at him. You just kind of have to grin and bear your buckle down just a little. Just a little. There we go. Flex player. I'm going to have to look at a little harder here. Just a little harder, just because, you never know who you could find. There we go. I think that's a pretty good sack. Yeah, that's it. That's done. So that one's done. So I've done 2 so far. Looking at everything the way it is, I'm going to see Tannehill, Taylor, Jones, Devontae Adams, from Minnesota. I'm just kind of going through it. I might not get through to this one. Because it looks like I'm going to have to really reevaluate some picks here. So that's, so far I got, what I got done. My predictions are going to stay the same for the NFL because, that's how I feel. But is it going to be another upset Sunday? Nobody knows. NHL, I did pretty good on the NHL picks, I believe, except my Canucks, that was just, that was a hardcore given on that one. My Canucks just kind of crapped the bed on me and on themselves too as well. So let's take a look what I got right and what I got wrong. So Islanders I was wrong, Panthers I was wrong, Oilers I was right, Flames I was wrong, Kings I was right, Capitals I was right, Predators I knew the Predators were going to go into overtime, so I was right on that one. The Jets, I was wrong on the ending, but the Jets won. The Canucks lost embarrassingly. Ducks won, and the Golden Knights did beat the Wild. So that's, I was slightly correct. But I'm going to explain a few things. The Canucks had a very easy open window to win, actually, that game last night. And, again, they didn't because they just chose not to, which is a bad statement on their end. They should have won. They should have taken those 2 points or at least snuck out and got another point. But again, who can say what? you know, Colorado, again, a depleted team, really, but still has, you know, Landeskog, Makar, Gerard, all those great guys. And yet they still can't pull off a victory. That's just disappointing to me. Extremely disappointing. But again, I'm not going to blame them fully because honestly, they're still working. It's still early. The season's still young enough to say they can push this and, you know, start figuring out a way to win. Going with a team like the Habs right now, who are 4-10, who have now upsetted two, you know, higher end teams who are actually doing really well this season. It's in any given moment right now, early in the season. I don't want to jump and push the panic button on the Ducks. Like everybody I've seen on Twitter have been pushing for a betting fire now. Just let the system work itself out. Let the kinks work itself out. It is trial and error. Sometimes, you know, trial and error, you know, push comes to shove. Sometimes these things kind of work themselves out a little faster than they should, or, you know, the pace could be slower than it would be. But here in Canuckland, just pump the brakes a little here. It is early in the season. We will be banking points soon. I know it. I have a feeling, like, you know, this team always does somehow miraculously do a big, massive turnaround and go on an 8-10 game winning streak. They can do it. We all know they can. Just, you know, the puck is not on our side right now. There's no puck luck for us. Moving towards like other teams like Montreal. Montreal is going to be your upsetting team, as I can say. It is going to be a hard fought battle between all of them. It's going to be one of those things right now for Canada. All Canadian teams are going to fight it out with each other again when they meet each other. I was listening to the radio yesterday, 650 Sportsnet, and they were saying right now is the critical time for them to pack points in. It is. Don't I'm not going to get them wrong on this. I'm not disagreeing. It is time to pack those points in. The problem is, you don't get that puck luck, you don't get it. Just like yesterday's Thursday nighter with the Dolphins and the Ravens, they were playing good, just it wasn't, you know, the finished product wasn't there. They were doing well, just couldn't execute the finish. It happens. It happens. It's a spoiler, it's an upset, it happens. When I go and look right now, let's go and see the NBA, for instance. Because I did do my scores on those, my picks. Let's see. So last night's games were 3. So I picked the Raptors over the 76ers. 76ers were beating the Raptors pretty good. And the Raptors stormed back and won. I thought the Jazz were going to beat the Pacers, but the Pacers upset them. And the Clippers beat the Heat. So that means the Heat is 0-2. You know, in the last two are 0-2 right now against the LA teams. The Clippers and the Lakers. So my prediction right now, as it stands, is for tonight's NBA games. You got the Knicks versus the Hornets. Again, it's going to be another one of those steal-'em games for all of them. I'm going to pick the Knicks. Bucks versus Celtics. Bucks. Pistons versus the Cavaliers. I'm going to say the Cavaliers. Nets versus Pelicans. Nets. Rockets versus Trailblazers. Kings versus Thunder. I'll say Thunder because they're just going to, you know, Thunder shock the Kings' crown. The Suns versus the Grizzlies. I'm going to say the Suns. Mavericks versus the Spurs. I'm going to say the Mavs. Hawks versus Nuggets. I'll say Nuggets. Bulls, this is where another steal 'em game is going to happen again. It's going to steal tonight. Two games are going to steal tonight. And it's going to be, as I say, the Knicks versus Hornets, Bulls versus Warriors. I'm going to say the Warriors because they're on such a hot streak right now. Timberwolves versus Lakers. It's going to be the Lake Show again. That's how I call it right now. It's how I see it. Tonight's NHL's scores. So the games tonight I'm going to have to predict here. Columbus versus Capitals. I'll say Columbus. Capitals have been kind of on the teetering edge there. Flames, see, this is what I'm saying. Now you got the two Canadian teams facing off with each other right now. You got the Flames versus the Maple Leafs. Both teams have lost right now recently, so I'm going to have to say I'm going to go with the West on this, and I'm going to go with the Flames. Hurricanes versus Flyers. The Flyers are doing good. They're not a disgrace. They're good. They're doing good. Thing is, those Hurricanes rock you like a hurricane. They can do it. They have every weapon of arsenal you could think of in the forward and defense group right now. And Freddie Anderson, hell, he's doing a hell of a good job. Hurricanes on that one. Oilers versus Sabres. I'm going to have to say the Oilers. They were the spoilers last night with the Bruins. Blackhawks. Okay, you got the Blackhawks versus the Coyotes. Two worst teams in the West. I'm excluding Seattle out of the conversation because they are a young team. They're new, so they're excluded. They're excluded from that. They're not even part of it. I'm going to say the Blackhawks by a very slim margin, by like a goal or two. That is how I call it tonight. As I move forward, I'm outside doing my podcast right now. I see Odell pick the Rams to join. Is it the right move? To me, possibly. The Rams are loaded. They are got offensive weapons for Stafford like there's no tomorrow. You got Kupp, you got Miller, now you got Odell Beckham, and you got tons more on that roster that I can list off, but I'm not going to. That team is loaded to run to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton went back to the Carolina Panthers. Good move for that. It's a good move. It's a smart move for him. It's where he started his career. It's pretty much where he should end his career if he ever thinks of it. So he's doing a fantastic job. Now that's my sports world talk for now. Now we'll jump into the pro wrestling world. So tonight we got AEW Rampage before tomorrow's big pay-per-view event. We got Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus the infamous Bobby Fish. My take to that, Bobby Fish is going to somehow join this elite group come tomorrow. And that's the way it looks. Because, they're not undisputed or disputed. It's no era of that. It's the elite time. But I'm picking Jungle Boy Jack Perry to beat Bobby Fish tonight. Is he going to be ready for Sunday after this? He might be a little more banged up, but if you watch and follow AEW and you see Jungle Boy, that guy can take an ass kicking and still keep going. And that is my guy. I believe you have, I think, a few more matches, but that's a big one. That's one of the big ones. Moving over to the SmackDown side, because it is Friday Night SmackDown. It is on, I believe, Fox tonight, not Fox Sports Net 1, or Fox Sports 1 or whatever. You got the whole King Xavier Woods and Roman Reigns and the Bloodline thing. I want to see how this is carrying on, because I did read that Kofi wasn't medically cleared yet. For some reason, I don't know. But with the pro wrestling aspect, as everybody would know in the pro wrestling world right now, there's a lot of free agents out there, especially from the Ring of Honor side to, from the WWE side, there's a lot of free agents, but the WWE side still has that 30, 60-day non-compete clause thing going on. So who knows? We might see some possible surprises tomorrow night at Full Gear, maybe not. It's all, this is what I got so far on my pro wrestling take. So that's my pro wrestling take. I'm going to flip it back over to my sports talk here. To tell you honest truth, the way I see the NFL playoffs starting to look, it might be some shocks. Some teams that you wouldn't expect make the playoffs will make the playoffs. Could they be a Cinderella story? Maybe, maybe not. It's, my predictions on that front are a little still too, even though we have 8 weeks left, I'll probably start telling you around week 12, week 13 where I'm really seeing where it is, because this is now the second half of the season. I know a lot of people probably are a little pissed that Odell's in LA now. The Rams are just a fully stacked team. Again, if money talks, money talks. You can't really disagree with, the ownership and management going out to get a wide receiver of Odell Beckham's caliber. He has the ability to be a great wide receiver. He can do it. The question is he going to be available Monday night? We might possibly see him Monday night with the Rams playing. Who knows? It does, the whole offense on the Rams side of things is just, it's a monster. That's what I was saying earlier on my other podcast. You can spend money to build a team, but can that team win you a championship? Most of the time, because I was also listening to some stuff yesterday that, there's teams from the NHL, the MLB, the NBA, NFL, where they hoard picks. They go, okay, complete blow up, let's fire sale everybody and, get all these guys out of here, clear up the cap space, bring in, utility guys and all that stuff, and depth, and then draft well. There was one woman journalist, she was saying how well Baltimore has literally turned their entire franchise around by simple draft picks. They hired a bunch of analytical guys. See, this is where I say analytics works in baseball, basketball, and football. It can't work in the NHL. Because you got to go by goals, assists. Your plus minus. I think the only way analytics works in the NHL is by goaltending standards. The save percentage, the goals against, shots, all that. What side is your good side of percentage of saves, and compared to your other side, where say your left side is stronger than your right side saves. That's kind of where the analytics work, as I see it. There's a lot of room for, adjustments in each game, each part of the process of each week. With seeing analytics in the NFL work even better, because you got rushing yards, you got passing yards, you got throws, receiving, all that. You got all these things that work with number percentages. This is what people don't understand. It's a number percentage style. And with that being said, it is very, very hard thing to comprehend when it comes to, I'm not good with numbers. but when I see it, I do believe it. Like, Lamar Jackson's numbers are off the scales. So are Kyler Murray's and Patrick Mahomes. Like, even you go towards Tom Brady. Tom Brady's numbers are off the scale. For a guy who's like close to 50, still playing the game, doing great, it's insane. Last night's game, though, the analytics kind of failed on a lot of ends of each spectrum for the Ravens, where the analytics worked in the favor of the Dolphins. Their players were playing a very higher up-tempo kind of style compared to what the Ravens were doing. But again, like, the Ravens came off from Sunday and had they had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to practice and recoup to play the Thursday nighter. I fully understand why a lot of people don't like the Thursday night games. I understand now. It's hard. So if you play, say, Sunday, you have all the game. You have 3 days to recoup, train, and practice. That's, it's kind of hard. I understand. And now I fully understand where the money comes in. Why you guys want so much money. It is such a very hard and compact kind of styling for you. Lifestyle is go, 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 18 weeks. Yes, you get a bye week, so you have 17 in total. Well, you still play 18 in theoretical form of it. It's still a hard thing to understand from a fan's point of view. But if you're in a business and I work 7 days a week, and I go, wow, these guys are like, they're putting their bodies through the ringer. I put my body through the ringer in a different way. 7 days a week, from 9 till 9, it's 12-hour days, whatever. It's still kind of the same pool area. But when people start to question some of these teams that are higher in the playoff position, are they starting to fall? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? The falling of that is the team starting to lose the energy, lose the gas, or are they kind of taking a little bit of a approach to, okay, we got the playoffs coming up, we're, say, 8-2, let's dial it down because we got to save this energy because we got playoff games to play. I know the NFL don't have the best of 3 or the best of 5 or the best of 7 series. Okay, that's respectable. That is totally respectful on that half, because I don't think that could even be an imaginative situation for anything. With that being said, I will talk to you guys again on Monday. And have a great weekend. And just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Just have a great time. Again, I just kind of lost something. I just saw something. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. It's sports weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday.